Good morning. So we're having a bit of a rainy morning, and I took some time this morning to spend journaling and asking questions of God. And I have found that that is truly my happiest place to be, when I'm thinking and asking questions and going to God with all of the things that I'm wondering about, and getting to know who I am better through that experience, who Christ is through that experience. And so I took a long time this morning to ask questions, and I wanted to just encourage you to do that in your own journey as you're walking with God and you have questions about this and that, and even things that you thought were set in stone. Sometimes God's perspective is different and will open up something to you that you didn't even know that you could experience with Him. And so I encourage you to do that. And I wanted to share a song with you that came out of one of those times of asking questions of God. I was telling God how much I desired to know what it was that He had in mind in our relationship, and what it was that Jesus actually did for me. And through my series of questions and journaling those answers and just pondering on those things, and as I went about my day, I would think and I would ask more questions, and then revelations would come, the scriptures would come, and then the understanding of that would come, and God would speak to my heart. And I can remember driving a couple of years ago, and I was driving to the grocery store, and it was evening, and all of a sudden I heard this song in my mind and in my heart. I could hear the music, and the words started to come, and God asked me to sing it as though it was true of me. And these are words of Jesus, and they're words of scripture. But what God was doing was saying, I'm your Father too. I live in you too. Jesus is the first of many who would live in union with me. And as a part of my body, I am in you the same way. And so it actually made me a little uncomfortable at first, because I could never put myself as being the same. And of course, I'm not the same to be worshiped, but God was trying to teach me that the same Spirit that lived in and still does in Jesus lives in me. And that as He is, so am I in this earth. And that was a hard thing for me to believe. It was a very hard thing for me to believe, because I was always assessing myself in the natural, and I was looking at myself through my thoughts and opinions, and I was assessing my flaws. And my Father was not doing that. My Father was assessing me in the Spirit according to what had been done for me and what is already available for me, and what I would be becoming aware of as my experience would continue to unfold. And so I am thankfully receiving of that revelation and living in it in a greater measure than I ever have before. And so I'd love to share this with you. And I just hope that you can open your heart today and ask those same questions, ask your own questions, and enjoy your journey of receiving those answers, and that revelation, that awareness of being one and having the Spirit of Christ dwell in you as well. I love you, and I hope you enjoy it. If you've seen me, you've seen the Father, for He lives within these for they behold only Him. If you hear me, you've heard the Father. For these lips have been touched by the cold, and these ears have heard every word that He says. They are honey for the soul. If you've seen me, you've seen the Father. For He lives within these walls. Look into these eyes and see the Father's, for they behold only Him. If you hear me, you've heard the Father. For these lips have been touched by the cold, and these ears have heard every word that He says. They are honey for the soul. If you've seen me, you've seen the Father. For He lives within these walls. We are one, everlasting, for I have returned to Him. Thank you for listening. Let's return to the Spirit of Christ inside of us. Let's turn our hearts and our minds to Christ in us today. Let's acknowledge the presence and the person of God that dwells within these walls, and realize that we are one, everlasting, that eternity starts right now. We're in it. It doesn't end. We just become more and more aware of who is inside of us all the time. We become more and more aware of the thoughts of God in us, the Spirit of God in us, the presence of God in us, the truth of Christ in us, the power of Christ in us. We are on a journey of experiencing the perfect love of God in all of its dimensions, even now. I love you. I bless you today. Thank you so much for joining me, for sharing yourself with me, your time with me, your heart with me, your mind with me. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. I appreciate the beauty and the love that you bring to me. And I just bless you today. I'm thankful for you today. I love you. Thank you again for listening to my song and making it your own. See you next time.